The gods are angry today. Lots of thunder and lightning going on. Well, good day everybody, welcome to another video, and I don't know what's going on today, if it's gonna rain, storm, or what. It's getting black that way, but sun that way. But I got a fellow Jeeper coming over with his JK, I think it's like a 2013, 2011, somewhere around there, and he's got the P0456, I believe the code is, and we're going to try to troubleshoot and figure out where his EVAP system is leaking from so he can get it fixed. It's a P0456. I beg my pardon. This is Steve's JK, also known as Home Guy 4x4 on YouTube. We're gonna have a look at that EVAP code, and we're planning on doing some camping this summer as well, some camping and wheeling, because I know you guys want to see the Jeep in action. But first, let's take care of this issue. So we got the hood popped open, trying to look around. You can see some rubbing right down there in that line, right down there.
Oh yeah.
Dual battery setup definitely makes things a little bit tighter. We might have to try to smoke test it. Gotta find out where a good EVAP line is to pull off, that we can inject it with some smoke and see what happens. Steve just noticed this too, that this is really easy to pull off. That could be one of our issues.
Yeah, it's so easy if you put it back on. You can literally pick it off with your finger.
That could be our leak right there.
That could be it.
So we trace this line back, and it comes to this line right here. So we're gonna remove it and then smoke that line. See if we get any smoke coming out there. So I just pulled this line off. It came off easy too, but it got a clamp on it. But you can see you got some dry rot going on there. It's already starting to crack. So I'll get the party smoker out. There's no guarantee we're going to show a leak out of this because we don't know the spot where it was actually sitting when we started. But the way it comes off, we should probably get some smoke coming out of there. Just gotta wait about 5 minutes for a party smoker to warm up. It uses a water-based fog fluid, so you don't have to worry about any damage to sensors or whatever. I've used it multiple times on numerous vehicles. I've never had an issue. I'm going to smoke test my fuel tank in my Jeep and figure out why it pissed out fuel when it filled up. Once that's done, I got that orange tube over there, that the metal end that's taped. We put it against this, so it'll be a two-guy job. I'll hold it on there and then hold it on that hose, and I'll get Steve to hit the trigger and we'll look around for smoke. So I got a hose barb in there. Let's see where it's gonna come out.
There's the smoke. Damn.
Hold that on there. Steve can hold down the trigger.
Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Oh,
Look at this. Look at that. There's my slow leak.
there's more smoke coming out from down beneath this hose too.
We're getting smoke.
Looks like
Smoke fest. Look at that. It's just coming out somewhere down there.
oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, there's a hole.
Look at that too.
There's a hole in the line.
Yeah.
It was rubbing.
Rubbing good. Okay, smoke it.
Smoke coming out of there. Now look at this. Right here.
Somewhere
Oh, it's
else.
coming out of the airbox.
Okay, no, okay, that makes sense then, because
There we go.
it comes into the
Yeah,
intake
it takes
here.
the intake, so it's coming out of
Okay.
the airbox. There we go.
So it's just the one leak.
Yeah.
This one right there. Okay, false alarm. But we need to address that issue. These are some issues Steve needs to address from rubbing. So for the time being, what we're gonna do is put a hose clamp on it. So Steve just started his Jeep and the code is gone. So it's looking like hose clamp for the win. Remember to check out his channel, Home Guy 4x4 on YouTube. I'll also leave a link below in the description. Check him out. He has had this Jeep for a few years. He's owned a number of Jeeps. He's got a lot of videos done on his build and some other stuff. I love this Jeep. When I build a JK, it's gonna be along the same style of builds as this one because I really like it. Yes, with the Cummins. I'm gonna say this is a very functional Jeep that took a lot of time and effort to build the way he wants it. Overland plus to do wheeling. I really like this build. So I'm just leaving the Northwest, beautiful part of town. Got a brand new injector for the car because a long time ago, injector number one's been giving me issues. So once I'm done a little bit of work on the Jeep, gonna pull the injector out of this and swap it out. So last night I was dreaming, and I'm gonna come up with one more little adjustment to my table here. I'm gonna mount a couple of those magnets. I just use this super glue to glue the spacer up top there. And then I got these brass inserts that are gonna go into the wood, and then the magnets are gonna go right behind there, and then the magnets are gonna hold this board up a little bit tighter. I think that'll work. All right, there is no going back. Got one magnet in with its top. I think that'll work. I think that's gonna work out good. So now I have that out far. I mean, that's a lot of strength. Let's put this 8-gauge wire on the end. I mean, that's a few pounds. This might break the magnetic field. No, those are both holding on there. So I'm pretty impressed. I think that'll work. Slide's a little stiff though. Almost makes me feel like I'm in a race car, but not really. I'm in a slug pushing a sheet of plywood in the wind. The key is to get in the garage enough that I could fold the hood completely back. That way it's out of the way. Best thing about the Jeep TJ ever, or actually any Jeep, you just fold the hood right back, makes it nice for working on it. Now I guess I'm gonna pull the intake out just to give me more access. And like I said before, this fan was supposed to have been rated for 3,000 CFM, but I don't even think it's even putting out anywhere near that. And I just have to double check my relay, make sure it's rated for 40 amps, and it is. And I got my new wiring right here that I picked up earlier, 8-gauge. So it should be able to handle the current, no problem at all. So what I want to focus on is get those self-tapping screws out and then pull the whole fan and everything else, because I did buy some short 1/4 inch that hopefully that once it's mounted on the fan, it's not going to protrude fast or past, because you don't want it touching the rad itself, because that's how you're going to get a hole. I don't know how you guys operate, but when I work on something, I put all my tools in a pile, and then once I'm done the project, I will gladly put all my tools away. Then I'll be glad to change this fan out. The self-tapper screws are pretty strong too, actually. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, if there's no surprises, the fan should just come out. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, we got it. How is this fastened on there? It's like, there looks like rivets is what they look like. Get these last two Torxes out. I was trying to remove the fan at the junkyard, but in the end, actually these two bottom ones, you don't even have to remove them completely. You just loosen them up. And then the fan, believe it or not, hey, they're thinking designs that it just slides up, just like that. Perfect. I'm just taking this wiring harness apart because I don't believe this relay is going to be part of the equation. And just as I thought, it's not part of the equation, but this is a good 12 volt 40 amp relay, so I'm going to keep it. You never know when you can use it in the future. So I just got the fan put on the shroud. I think everything's going to work out good, and then I'll modify the relay box and I'll put the relays right on the corner there. I think that should work out. It's a good thing that I noticed this is that the fan, as you can see, doesn't sit flush. And I have about 3/4 of an inch here. So I have about 1/8 of an inch space between the fan and the shroud. So I think once the nut certs are put in, it will lose its efficiency a little bit. But between the fan and the shroud, I think I'm going to add an extra washer. That's about probably 1/16 of an inch. And that'll give me a little bit room just in case it decides to flex a little bit. Well, it's got clearance. It's not really the most ideal situation, but that's what I'm looking at. I apologize to the B-roll people. I did not film it putting it back in, but I'm just fitting it up. Is it your favorite time of the day? Is it your favorite time when you get brushed? Is it? You love being brushed, don't you? You do. Oh yeah, look at you stretch out, hey? Look at you. Look at you. Oh yeah. Doesn't that feel good, Tomcats? Hey. Listen to your purr. Work. I guess it'd help if I put the battery back on, perhaps. Fail. Battery's reconnected, time to do some testing. Right, low speed. And then high speed. That's moving air. Volvo fans back in place. Need to start doing some testing now. Make sure everything works as it should. However, I may have to take it apart tomorrow because I'm going to do the transmission cooler, and I'm not sure if I'm going to attach it through the radiator with those special ties or just mounted on the cross member where that one fan is now. That is something I need to determine and find out. Doing my first test run with the fan. So far I'm happy with it. Hasn't kicked in the high. Just low, which is a good sign. City finally fixed the alley, which is nice. That'll be good like this until it rains. And we'll be back to potholes. Now it's time to finish the last little project, and that is to deal with the transmission cooler so I can drop the temperatures down. Now there's a couple ways that you can do this, and I think I'm gonna go the opposite way. Because ideally the transmission cooler comes with those zip tie mounts, so you put it up flush against here and use those zip ties to hold it in place, which is all fine and dandy. I mean, it'll work really good with the fan, and I may be going down the rabbit hole, but I've also had good success previously with mounting it away from the radiator as well. So it'll go right where that right where the fan was. So the fan will definitely be coming out. Or I might leave the fan on and put the transmission cooler behind it. I think that's what I might do, actually. Can't wait to read all the haters' comments later about running zip ties to hold that cooler and fan on. Cheapest, most efficient way to do it. Zip ties aren't going nowhere. The fan comes with a form of a zip tie to hold it together. I mean, you can custom manufacture a bracket, or you can zip tie it and run it like that for your testing. Later on down the road, I could probably change it up if I want to, make something better. I don't see that going nowhere. She'll work for what I'm going to use it for. So everything's back together. I just want to show you guys what I did is that I made the line right here that in the event I need to bypass the cooler for whatever reason, it gets damaged, something's leaking, I just disconnect from this bulkhead fitting. This top line will go back here, and this line will go on here, and then the cooler will be bypassed. Cover up. Not seen any leaks, which is a good sign. And are you chilling before it rains? Is it gonna rain? What do you think? You're fixated on something. What do you see? Could very well rain any time now. Well, it stopped raining. It's nice out. Take this thing out for a rip and see if we notice a big difference in the transmission temps or not. Just got onto the freeway. Probably gonna go about 60 kilometers tonight. That should give me a good test run. See what my overall transmission temperature is. See how the cooling fan's gonna work. My lights are done. I think that's enough wiring and stuff for a while. 88 with the Volvo fan. Transmission staying pretty solid at 150 degrees. Makes me happy. Camera's not going to show, it's going to look like it's flat, but coming up to the rolling hills. This is by Millerville. Such beautiful country. What a gorgeous house that is. Beautiful homes out that way in the rolling hills. I think it's safe to assume right now that 150 is going to be the average driving temperature. It might climb up a little higher than that, but by now I'd be over 180 for sure, and it hasn't even climbed up past that. And I've been going up and down hills and making this thing work a little bit. Temperature staying right at 90. These are the things you kind of have to look at. Do I got my crazy hair? Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Pretty stoked. I'm going to go get my driveline modified tomorrow, and then it depends how long that takes to get my drive shaft back. Definitely thinking going to be heading out doing some wheeling and camping next week for sure. That's what the plan is. If everything goes well, I'm pretty happy. Jeep's feeling really solid. So driving around town, about 170, but I want to verify, otherwise this is going to bug me. Is going to get my high-end scanner, and I'm going to measure what that gauge says for the line-out temperature versus what the internal temperature is. So I just did the conversion, and the transmission fluid temperature matches the same over there between Celsius and Fahrenheit. I think it's time to shut her down and grab a motherfucking beer. Another few jobs, well done. I think I'm gonna have to go to the beer store tomorrow and pick up some more cheap beers. I'm running low. I'm gonna go for this Rogue beer right here. Hazelnut. Hazelnut Brown Nectar. 5.6%. Der Rich Dream. Gotta get the crazy hair going. Hey? Motherfucking beer time. Let's crack this one open. Hazelnut. Cheers, everybody. That's actually really good. Hazelnut brown nectar. That's really good. So, we accomplished a lot today. Well, not in one day, but in this video. Transmission cooler. What else was I pissing around with? I can't remember. I jumped around stuff, but I accomplished what I needed to accomplish. Oh yeah, Steve's Jeep with the 4-point or EVAP code. It's so late in the day right now, I'm just exhausted. I just, ever since I've been off, especially now that it's nice outside, this is the time to generate videos and produce content because I'm not paying to heat my garage and it's nice outside. I can spend a lot more time outside. And yeah, morning starts at 7 o'clock. It's 9:30 at night right now. And I'm just shutting her down. Tomcat's probably wondering, where the fuck is my human? Where is he? I need someone to cuddle with. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Motherfucking beer time. And like I said, hopefully drop that drive shaft off tomorrow. Get that taken care of. Get everything ready. And be heading out soon. Heading out soon for its first trip wheeling, camping. And then the fun's going to begin. All this hard work was good. And there's still lots to do. But it's time to have some fun. I'll see you guys later.